Kim is up in Anna, Texas, and so her middle name is for the city Anna, Texas. It's actually not. Kimberly, you're not on video. I don't know if you intended to, but you're there. We're excited to have you on board with us, by the way, and then we're very excited to have you on board with our conversation today, because this is really talking to people who are trying to make a decision. We're looking at something new, and it sounds, John, it sounds almost too good to be true. And I've heard two things. One is it sounds too good to be true. And everybody, listen, it is that good. And the second thing is that people tell us all the time, this is the biggest no-brainer I've ever seen. And then to those same people, yes, it is. It's the biggest no-brainer I've ever seen. And Kimberly, we started talking last year, and you and I have some history, and we were brought back together through a Facebook post. And when you saw this thing, you know, you got it. I mean, you got it like that. Sometimes people don't get it and they have to see it 2 or 3 times and it's kind of working their way through it, but you just got it. Tell us about your background, first of all, and how you came back to Anna, Texas. And then we'll talk about your EXP discoveries.
Well, I was just a regular agent for a long time. I started doing production that I didn't realize everybody could see. And so then I was chased by brokers, and I eventually owned a franchise, sold out. And because when I sold out, I had some high numbers of my agents doing very well their first year as rookies, I started getting called by brokers from everywhere. So I did start training on a national level, how to train your rookies and how to build your company and recruit agents. And so recruiting became a passion for me through those years. And then I kind of got a little frustrated with making a lot of people mad because I was doing very well at recruiting. And then I'm in my hometown and brokers were like, wait, leave my company alone. You're hurting me, kind of thing. So I decided I went back to my hometown and just started doing real estate. And everybody's like, oh, you're going to be poor doing that because nothing's there. And I said, well, I always believe in selling what you know. And if selling real estate is what I'm going to do, I went back to what I knew. So
you're in Anna, Texas.
In Anna, Texas.
Yeah, you're in Anna, Texas. The population?
About 18,000, a little more in the ETA.
Can I brag on you a little bit and talk about your volume, or is that too close to home?
I don't care. Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So last year she did 18 million in a town of 18,000. John, you tell me how many people you know that can claim that, right?
Exactly right.
It's pretty remarkable. And this year she's fired up. I just talked to her today. I can't remember if it was 6 units this week and 8 last week, or 6 last week and 8 this week, but whatever it was 14 in 14 days. And I thought that's pretty darn good. So she's knocking it out of the park in Anna, Texas, and really believes in owning the small market where you are. And of course, some of us are in big cities and don't have that opportunity in the same way. But I've always believed, John, and you and I talk marketing all the time, that it's about niche playing, and she's really gone after that. But I think, Kim, you know, what I remember is that you really were on the national circuit and you were teaching the biggest recruiters in the world how to recruit. And right. So when you looked at this, it was kind of like, wow, I don't have to have a franchise. I'm not limited like you were at the other franchise system. You built everybody else's career. I mean, I can tell you, this woman stacked offices with agents, and then they'd, let her go, or there'd be no opportunity left, and she'd go off somewhere else. Somebody else would go, oh, there she is, and she's available. And pretty soon you just realized that you had to finally build your own deal. So we're super excited that you're here doing it with us. What was what caught you? What did you get when you saw EXP? What made sense to you?
There's so many different levels of income and under one umbrella. There's benefits that, my job was always understanding your competitor, creating a value package that you can be competitive, and then understanding, the area that you're going after. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never, out of all the companies across the country, it was like something I had not seen. And I thought I had seen it all. because I've trained from the East to the West Coast and most of the top brands, as well as most of the large independents. So, and that was all about recruiting and then teaching your agents how to, make money. Don't recruit them if you're not going to help them make more money. If you don't have the ability to take them to another level, then leave them there or send them to Walmart as a greeter. Don't hurt them that way. Transition is tough. So I love that. I'm like, I can actually do recruiting on a larger scale, and I have all of the training that can take them somewhere else and not leave them stagnant. And so I was like, wow, everything is right here. And the profit.
Well, you were right at the verge of starting your own brokerage. In fact, I know you just told me this morning that you're studied, finally took all the classes, you're ready to get your broker's license, and you were concerned about it because the next thing that starts to happen is you're responsible for getting all the technology for your company. You're the one who's responsible for getting all the cool tools for your company. You're the one who's on the line with your broker's license for any mistakes that are made. You're the one with the liability. And by the way, you're the one not making any money because most brokerages are not, which is the funniest part. I mean, I say funny, it's sad, but most brokerages are broke and they're not making any money. And yet they're going through all the gyrations to build something. And you, my dear, have the ability to build that right here. You don't have to buy a franchise. You just build it. And it's not a franchise. And you've got training and you've got all the things, right? So tell us how fun that is.
It's nice. I mean, I've bought t-shirts for everybody. That's about it. And it's great. I'm like, shirts are on me. Everything else they got for you. So it's been nice. I have spent a lot of money.
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. That's what I'm saying when I joined her team. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
I know awesome. That I have spent several $100,000 in brokerages that I owned in franchises that never got back. Even though we were well and we recruited and we did all the right little things, there's just so much that comes with owning a franchise.
There is, Yep. You mentioned that your teaching other people how to recruit was always about teaching them how to know your competition, which would mean I want to know what their value proposition is so I can come up with my value proposition. I'll bet you'd have a heck of a time competing against EXP.
I would. And I don't want to. And when you first called me, I was like, I have no time. But I'm like, it's Don Hobbs. I got to listen to what he has to say. But then when I heard it, I'm like, man, I have been approached 50 times and I ignored it all. I didn't even listen because you just get too busy in your own life and you don't listen. And so it takes the right connection, the right person to make the call. And sometimes, it's just timing. It's timing. And I'm hoping that those of you who are listening understand it is timing. But if you take time to listen, I can't imagine it not resonating. Not after what I've seen, it's amazing to me.
Well, and it's the real deal.
As a quick capper, because you're capping quick at 18 million a year and volume. The stock and the icon program had to just fire you up, and the ability to get your cap back and watch it grow.
Yes, because nobody's ever given me anything back.
Exactly. And I guess my last question, and I'll let Don take it from here, is
keep going, Don.
What would you say to somebody that says, I'm not a recruiter, I'm a realtor? And so that they don't miss out on one of the greatest life-changing, money-making opportunities that we have that really nobody else has.
They don't have to be. Doing a great transaction with another realtor is a great way to be. Just set the example and it's going to follow. You just have to be a good example in what you do. I think it's organic.
Kind of what we've been talking about, isn't it, Don?
Yeah. It's exactly right. It's exactly right. And exactly, John. And I think that, great point, Kim, because just being who we are, doing deals as we do, showing up in the world as we do. I mean, I was talking to somebody who just came over and I said, just you posting that you've made a change, people go, wow, she changed from that company. It's like instantly people want to understand. They want to know what intrigued you. How did you get gone, because let's face it, Kim, you were not inclined to move to a new company. You were going to have to start your own because people kept clamoring, Kim, start a company for us. We need something that's quality and cool and awesome. And you were going to do that, bite the bullet for them. But, most people, John, you were happy with your franchise. Allison was ecstatic with her franchise, her previous company. She was there. She thought she'd never leave. Like, why would you leave KW? It's a phenomenal company, and it truly is. Gene Frederick, you and I, we all know Gene, right? We all have relationships with him at different points. And Gene was like the guy who bled KW Red and Black and literally owned a region and owned 6 offices, 6 market centers. And this dude was like, I love this company. His wife was crying in tears. We're leaving our friends, but you're not leaving your friends. You're not leaving your friends. If they're your friends, they're still your friends. Some of my best friends are at all companies. Right. What they stepped into was a new future. And John, that's what you and I have been talking about. Kim, that's what I really loved about hearing you come over, because you're like, I have a gift that I can give to people, that I can give this to people, that right. They've never had this opportunity before. They've never had this chance before.
Not at all. And I love to reward people. So now it's a win-win to, okay, well, you don't want to recruit, but give me the people that you're doing transactions with, let me do this, because we all benefit and we can all work together on bringing over people. Tell me the ones you don't like, because I'm not calling them, and, tell me the ones you love so I can go after them.
And I'll say one more thing. We're at the Bewitching Hour, and I want to let everybody get off to their days. But just today, and John, you'll appreciate this, because, when you're a real estate agent and you're in Anna, Texas, let's just use that as an example, or Belton, Temple, where you are, John, and you're an agent, you're thinking about Temple, Belton, you're thinking about Anna, Texas, you're thinking about your own local area. You're not thinking about building something somewhere else. You're not thinking about having income coming in from, as we do, multiple 20 plus states, nearing 30 states, right? You're not thinking about that. You're not thinking about countries that are opening. It doesn't matter to you. It's like you're with Sotheby's and they're going, hey, we're in 26 countries. You go, what does that matter to me? It matters not. And yet in this company, everything that this company does, you start thinking, I'm growing in Anna, Texas. Right now, we're growing in Anna, Texas. Why? Because Kim did that. We're growing in Temple, Belton, John, because you did that. And you're growing in areas and states and places that you don't live or own or whatever. And all of us have that opportunity to think beyond where my little real estate market is in my little real estate office, and realize that this is a big game. And the reason that people like Dave Liniger, founder of Remax, has become a billionaire is because he thought more than just about real estate for himself. He thought about it around the world. Gary Keller, he was a very close friend of mine until I kind of came over to EXP, and he doesn't like that as much. So we're not talking right now, but understand that he said, I'll die with realtor on my tombstone. I'm a realtor. The only difference is I figured out how to sell a lot more houses by working with other people. And John, you've never had that opportunity to do that. And Kimberly, you kind of have, but only for other people.
Yeah.
It's exciting to build our business instead of somebody else's.
It is.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Kim, I couldn't be more thrilled to have Anna, Texas on the map with us. And I met one of Kim's new people that's also in Anna, Texas today. And that dude's a rock star. I got off the phone. I called Sonny. I go, I am so excited about this guy. Pumped up. But I'm really glad to have you on. I'm sure glad we knew each other. I'm sure glad that you had any faith in my call, because I feel honored that we have you as a leader in that area. And I know we're talking about Atlanta. That's why I was starting that whole conversation. We were talking about Atlanta, Georgia. Why would she and I be talking about Atlanta, Georgia? Well, because that matters to us. And she has a lot of contacts in Atlanta, Georgia.
And I called
her. See, and there we go, John. So John, let's take some Q&A, and all of us will be here to answer any questions that are here, including Kimberly. Kimberly, thanks for being here. And we love you, and we're glad that you've made it through this weird time with COVID, and that you're excelling as you always do, and glad you're here doing it with us. We'll take a question or two or three, and if there are none, we'll let everybody go to work.
Yeah, feel free Q&A. To put them in the chat or in the Q&A at the bottom of the screen. Click on that, and we'll address those if you have any while we wrap this bad boy up.
Anything, comments, questions. I mean, Kimberly, I would ask Kimberly, what, like, you don't get to talk to this girl very often. You could, but you don't usually. John Morrison, the John Morrison.
A scary thought. Don't run them off.
Questions from anybody? Well, guys, if there's no questions, we're going to say our goodbyes. And I think Dale Evans and Roy Rogers used to have a song they'd sign off with. I'm going to let Kim and John sing that song on our way out. No, I guess not. Probably not.
Happy trails to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Thanks, John, so much. I appreciate you. Glad to be in business with all of you.
Right back at you.
Talk to you later.